Okay, so the first step is that you're going to click this link that's in Schoology right above this video to get started with setting up a free pro account with Gravit. This account will be good for only 90 days, but you don't have to pay for it, which is a good thing. So after you click that link and you'll type in your school email, your name, create a password, your screen will look like this. So you want to make sure you click out this Try Out Gravit Designer Pro for 90 days. You will get an email to your school email with a link to activate your account, and you'll need to do that as well in your email. And then you'll get a little notification that says your account was created. Go to your email to activate your account. So I am activating my account on my other device right now. So after you activate your account, you can just go to Gravit. So how I got to here is I just type in Gravit into Google and just go to this designer.io, click Start Now. For me, I didn't have to log in with my account stuff that I set up. You might have to log in with your email and the password that you set up. So this is kind of that getting started page to decide what you want to make. So we want to just set our canvas size to be the same as our laser. So just like we would do in Corel Draw. So right now it's set to pixels, which are like tiny little dots on your screen. We want to change it to inches. And then it's 24 by 12. So just like we would do in Corel Draw. And I'm going to click Create. So then this space in here is my canvas that is the same size as our laser and just like how we would set up in Corel. So most likely you're going to make really simple designs just to get cut out on the laser using simple shapes. So right up in here is where the shapes are, and you can do lines, rectangles, ellipses, or circles, polygons, whatever. So I'm just going to start with a rectangle, and I can click and drag on the screen and make it however big I want. And you can see over on the right hand side there is a little area that says size, and those numbers are changing as I drag it. So if I want to set this to a specific size, let's say 5 inches by 2 inches, I can just type that in and hit enter on my keyboard and it'll automatically adjust. So right now this has a gray fill, which on our laser it would actually engrave really lightly that gray color. So we're not going to want that. So to be able to change the fill color and add a border, that is down here on our screen. So I'm going to first add a border. So you can see borders, and if I click this little arrow, it doesn't do anything because there's no borders on it right now. So I need to click this little plus button to add a border and to change the color. So if I want this to cut out, I'm going to click on this black circle, and then I can just choose my red. And it's better to choose the red or the blue if you want to engrave from down here, because these are going to have the correct RGB values that our laser needs. So just like in Corel, when we choose red, it's set to 255, 0, and 0. That's what it is if you pick it down here. If you just drag it and you don't get it exactly in this little color panel up here, it might not work, and then the laser won't recognize it. Remember, this blue is the same thing, that's 0, 0, 255 if I want it to be blue. I'm going to do red, and I'm just going to click off of it. So you might notice that this stuff looks a little bit different because I'm not clicked on my shape right now. So I'm just going to click back on my shape, and it'll bring back that fill and the border. So now I can get rid of my fill. If you click the little eyedropper tool, it asks you to, like, you can pick a color specifically on your canvas. That's not super helpful for us. I'm going to click that circle again, that gray circle, and I'm just going to choose white to make it white. So now I have a red box that could get cut out on the laser. If I wanted to do multiple of these, I can copy and paste it. So just using the keyboard shortcuts, it does paste it right on top of it. So you do have to drag it over to move them out of the way. So you can realign, and it shows you how far apart things are too, which is kind of handy. So you can copy and paste. Maybe this one I want to be blue. I can go down to my border and make it blue instead. So that red would be for cutting, blue would be for engraving. With Corel Draw, we do have to usually set that border width to be hairline. That's not an option in Gravit, and that's something we're going to have to do later after we export this and bring it into Corel, but that'll just take you a couple of seconds once you're in Corel. But at least this way you can get your sizing set up, your coloring, where you want it on your canvas. If you do want to add text for some reason, you can use the text tool and just click and drag kind of that box that you want the text to fit into. So I can write STEM Academy. And if I want to change the font, there's a whole bunch of different fonts in here, the size. So most of the tools and things you're going to want will end up on this right-hand side of your screen. So you just can kind of play around and look at different things too. Black will engrave, so that's what I'd want on this little STEM Academy font. There is a way to do a border on it, so maybe I want to cut out the STEM Academy words. I could add a border and make it red. So if I were to zoom in on here, you can see that there's a red outline, which when we bring it into Corel and make it hairline, our laser would actually cut out these letters. Not super handy for a lot of projects, but might be something you want to do in the future. You can also bring in pictures, and I'll show you how to do that in a separate video because that's a little bit more specialized for other projects. So that's kind of the basics of this Gravit. You can always save your document, and I would save it to your cloud folder. So you could make a folder inside of there, call it UIF stuff. And you can save your files in here. So maybe this is my dominoes for my Rube Goldberg, and I can save that in there. So if I were to open a file, so when I go into school and I want to download this, I can open it from the cloud. And there's my domino file. So you're going to want to make sure you save things into this cloud space so that when you're working at home, it's in the cloud and you can open it from the cloud when you are at school.